Hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome to the live chat. I am turning off my phone and I'm pretty much ready to go. Happy Monday, one and all. Today is March the 7th. And as you know, it has been 1 year. It's been 1 year since the famous, iconic Oprah Winfrey interview of Harry and Meghan. Highly anticipated, may I add, the interview. When when they said there was going to be an interview, like everybody else, something went right through me. I was like, yes, yes. I was shocked by it, of course, because I was like, finally, we're going to hear their side of things. But then I'm thinking, are they really going to tell it, or are they going to hold back? Um, but we didn't even have a chance to even enjoy the fact that the interview was coming, because almost in the same breath, the royal family decided to take a preemptive strike. And when I say preemptive strike, of course, I mean the bullying allegations. So that was the way things started, was to accuse them of being bullies. And well, actually, to accuse the Duchess of Sussex being a bully. So anyway, not to get so much into the um, you know that part of it, because that was very painful, and it continues to sting, obviously, because essentially the Duchess of Sussex, who has been so beloved by everybody she's ever known or worked with, suddenly was being painted with the angry black woman trope. And, and that's something that's recurring. If it's not a black woman, then they use the term shrill, which is another way of referring to a woman as irrational and, you know, okay, I'll put it here like this. Prince William fed right into it by referring to his mother as being, what was it, delusional and paranoid. I mean, and that was her son. So imagine what other people are capable of when it's not their own family member that they're throwing under the bus. So, yeah, so there's that. But anyway, I got my slides ready, so let's get into it. First, let's say hello to a few people. Like, for instance, who do we have here? We have Opal Jones. Welcome to the live chat. Pamela Porter. Connie Ballmer. Lydia Washington. Diana Ware. If you guys haven't noticed, I sound a bit chipper today. I got a good night sleep. You all were telling me, Baron, try to get some rest, try to get some rest. And, I'm trying to cope with what's going on with Ukraine and everything. That always affects me when there's stuff like that on TV and, all over the news and everything. So, sleep, as they say, sleep don't come easy. Fancy, hello to you. Uh, Kate Herrera, Kenneth Doug, hi. Pamela Porter, did I say that already? Francilia Mosley, I love that name, Francilia. And of course, World Traveler. World Traveler had trouble getting into the live chats, but she's here and we're happy. Let's see. Also, Gina is here, Bright Eyes PB&J, Church Nelly, and so on and so on. Okay, so let's get into it then. Hi, Joyce Bolt. And you know what? Come to think of it, there's one more slide I want from yesterday because that may prove helpful. Actually, let's bring up all of yesterday. Yesterday was Ghana Independence Day, in case you don't know. That one. And that one. Okay, good to go. So there we have it. So that iconic image, the iconic dress, the setting. Oh, I just remembered there was one more thing I could have added to the conversation. I can still do that later. It was the unlikely benefactor of the Oprah Winfrey interview. Um, yeah, the guy that played Peter Brady, if you remember, he designed the lawn furniture, or his company designed it. But there's the Duchess of Sussex. There's Prince Harry. I remember the surreal feeling that came about when I saw the Duchess of Sussex, who actually was interviewed first, and then Prince Harry joined later. When the Duchess of Sussex stepped out, I was just like, it was an out of body experience for me, because after all those months and months and months of silence, the here and there public appearances, or and of course, don't forget, you guys, we were in a global pandemic, and we're hopefully at the end of it, but all of this happened while we were still trying to navigate this global pandemic. And I'm trying to think, were there even vaccines at that time? Were we doing vaccines, or the vaccines were new? I think the vaccines may have been new at that point. I think we heard about the vaccines like that December before. And then by March, they were starting the process of vaccinating people. So yeah, I mean, it seems like a whole nother world ago. Gosh, that seems like forever ago. Okay. Oh, Susie Q and Mary Hiker are having surgery tomorrow. Yes, yes. Let's pray for them. Definitely. Let's pray for them. I tell you, the squad is really going through some health problems right now, aren't we? Yeah, but like I said, our demographic is like 50s, 60s, and 70s mostly. So the good thing is we can be repaired. Let's pray that that is the case, that we are repairable. And of course, with prayer and healthy diet and such, and a positive mindset. You cannot overstress having a positive mindset. So, yeah, thank you for reminding us about that, or informing us, if you will. Okay, there's the setting. Now, apparently, this was said to have been Gail King's yard, or property, or patio, or lanai, which, of course, it was not. Gail King says absolutely not. Gail King said, I didn't even know I had a home in California, let alone a beautiful setting like that. I believe Gail is on the West Coast, not, I'm sorry, on the East Coast, not the West Coast. So, that was one thing that people speculated about. And of course, it was also, well, Oprah said that it was someone else's property. She wanted to make it clear that it was not her home. And it, of course, was not the Sussex's home. And that all of the people on the crew, if you remember, she said they were sworn to secrecy. And then, of course, one of my favorite things was Omid Scobie. He said, ready, with his popcorn, with his Twitter, with his tea, and of course, his bronchial inhaler, his rescue inhaler. And leading up to that, there was Oprah with the very rose nylon looking blue sweater, who did a series of morning interviews, mostly on CBS, in preparation of the Oprah Winfrey interview. So, doesn't this seem like it was a world ago? I mean, this seems like it was forever ago. Just seeing this on Loose Women, that Charles gave Andrew some money. I saw that, Sharon Marcia Lawrence Hunter. I saw that. Um, that he was going to loan Andrew money, but how would he ever pay it back? I guess he has to wait until mom goes to be with Philip, right? Okay, anybody got anything to say about Oprah? That's what I'm looking for. Anybody? Y'all just want to hear my voice? That's fine. Let's see. Baron, it was good to see Megan again at the famous interview. Thank you, Kay Costello. Yeah, that was, I'm still like surprised that it happened. And it was like everybody was talking about it. Ah, you're 21, Yvonne Clark. You're just a baby. You're 21. You are young. Gosh, I'm almost 3 times your age. You know, one of the reasons why I was so like out of it this weekend is because it rained a lot. And when it rains, it's almost as though something saps the energy out of my being. It's something about the rain that just totally drains me. So, um, okay, I saw that one. Let me scroll all the way down here. Okay. Yes, was awesome. A second Oprah interview would be much welcome. Well, Connie, as you know, there's still quite a bit of footage that we have not seen from the Oprah Winfrey interview. So, one of the revelations was it was actually Kate that made Meghan cry. And I won't dwell on this too long, but of course, anytime somebody is kind of jealous of your everything. And of course, instead of having an active part in making sure your wedding is successful, not only do they try to sabotage you, but then they show up wearing white. Anything that is close to white or wearing white should be forbidden. As you know, Oprah Winfrey said that she had outfits selected for the wedding, but then she kept her designers or her stylists up all night because she did not want to clash with the bride. She told her stylist, she said, "Does that look like white or does it look like off white? Does it look like white or does it look like off white?" Either way, Oprah thought it was too close for comfort, so she decided to change into something of a dusty rose color, and it seems to be the wise thing to do. Obviously, Duchess Doolittle did not get the memo. She obviously didn't get the memo, or either that or she simply did not care. I think it was a matter that she didn't care. So, okay, but um there is a history to that. If you notice the red circle right there, there's Camilla wearing white at Diana's wedding. And you could see Charles has his head pivoting to the right side because as they walked down the aisle, it was said that both Charles and Diana were scanning the crowd, trying to find the Rottweiler in the room, not the elephant, but the Rottweiler in the room, who was, of course, standing not so close to the aisle, but definitely noticed. Even if she wore black, that huge hair would have drawn one's attention to. Yeah, you're right, Church Nelly, passive aggressive. Passive aggressive. And Lydia, you say, in fairness, Baron, Kate had to get dressed last minute. They had thought they ruined wedding and they would not have to attend the wedding. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Because of that collaboration between, I don't know, was it Kensington Palace? Was it, I heard that there was a lot of phone calls back and forth with Jason. That was Thomas who said that Jason, he brought up Jason several times. So, yeah, I see what you mean. It was a last minute thing. I got that. She didn't think there was actually going to be a wedding, and I could understand why she thought that the wedding would take place. So someone wants to say hi to everyone. So let me help her out here. Okay, the other revelation. I know this photo may trigger some people, but this was like one of the worst nights in the Sussex marriage. And that was when Meghan realized that she was at a point where things had gotten so out of hand that anyway, we understand what was going on at that time, so I won't even say the words because it it was like the part of the Oprah interview where I began to cry. I got tears during this part of the Oprah interview. What I was hearing was so shocking and so painful. Realizing that while the Duchess was in her most vulnerable state that any woman can be in, that there was this vicious attack going on with the tabloid media about someone who rarely made an appearance for like 5 months. That was very painful. So we'll move on from that. The photo on the right, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex with Oprah Winfrey, is the most searched interview in Google Trends history. The most searched interview. That setting, those figures that you see on the patio, that is going to go down in history as one of the most iconic moments on television. And television is an industry that is shrinking. Television isn't getting bigger, it's getting smaller because we have turned to streaming services. So to have gotten the audience that they had at that point in time, you it's like with money, you really have to adjust for inflation. With television, you have to adjust for shrinkage because there are probably 1,000 options that any given person has on any day of the week, and so many people tuned into the Oprah Winfrey Show. So adjusting for deflation, it was a very epic event on television. So we'll never get those big numbers that we had in the past for anything because there are so many of us who are going to depend upon streaming something later that we don't all sit down and watch everything at the same time. So any audience that large that you can get at one time is quite a feat nowadays. Okay, all right, I saw that. Let me good. Let me see. Makes two of us, Connie, and we all want to see. I mean, to know how much was revealed. I believe there was nothing holding Oprah back. Well, you guys, I'm a little let me see. Oprah, if you guys want to know why Oprah is so wealthy, it wasn't because of her salary on the talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah received stock options. A lot of people are paid stock options. And part of the stock options was from Viacom and King World. So I believe King World purchased Viacom, which owns CBS. So essentially, Oprah owns a big chunk of the CBS network. So when you see Oprah almost exclusively on CBS, part of her financial portfolio is tied into CBS television. A lot of people who are on television make their money. The real money is not actually hosting the show, it's the production rights. Merv Griffith made a lot of money from production rights. Johnny Carson, Dick Clark. There's quite a few people. So if you really want to have control over your image and you really want to make the big money, production rights is the place you want to be. And that is why Oprah Winfrey made so much money in that 25 years of the Oprah Winfrey Show is because of Harpo Productions. And Harpo Productions and Oprah Winfrey, of course, is one and the same. But that is where the big money comes from. So anyway, let's move on to a couple of more comments. Okay, I saw that one. I hope that there would be a part two interview since extra footage exists to celebrate the anniversary. The effects of the interview continue this day. Pamela Porter, you said a mouthful. It has become part of our everyday lexicon. And I don't even know what that means, but it just sounded so cool to say that. Lexicon. Somebody look that up for me. Okay. Is part of our daily lexicon. That is our word for today, everyone. Lexicon. Got it? Somebody look it up for me. All right. So next, there is this moment. As you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have fun with it, right? So, realizing one of those revelations from the Oprah Winfrey interview is that Tyler Perry rescued the Sussexes by sending his private jet up to Canada and bringing them to the United States to Medea's safe house or Tyler's spare mansion. And we all heard about that, but it was confirmed during the Oprah Winfrey interview when they said, oh, yeah, and we definitely have to thank Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry helped us out big time. So that was something that we discovered. Now, let's see here. I see something one place, but I don't see it the other. Oh boy, I hope I haven't disconnected myself from my okay. I want to highlight that super sticker, but I'm unable to. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I mean, I see it. Am I disconnected from my comments? No, I'm not. You know what? I am so sorry. I do see your super sticker, and I would love to highlight it. It says Dawn. Well, thank you so much, Don. And I see you're able to blow your own horn there. But unfortunately, I am unable to highlight it for whatever reason. So let me try that. Boy, I tell you, the internet is a little glitchy today. And I did everything that I could to make sure that that did not happen to me. And still, I'm having an issue here, Don. So thank you again. Sorry that I am unable to highlight that, but I do see it. Wow. Oh, that is so strange. Well, okay, and I'm getting oh, actually I am not seeing all of my okay. So I've had this happen before. Let me see if I can do something about it. Huh. Myra, you said hi, right? Wow, this is happening again. You know what? I haven't received a new let me see. I got two screens open, right? Not that this is like so earth striking, earth strike shaking, but I got two screens open, but the comments are not moving on the main screen. So let me see if there's something I can do about it. I don't want to disconnect you all. Oh, okay. Think I'm caught up. Almost caught up. All right. Sorry about that. Wow, that is so strange. It's like, all right. There seems to be a bit of a delay in the comments. So, and I really can't do anything about it right now. So we'll just move on. Yeah, that is deep. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. But I noticed that there's something weird about the comments. Like they're moving extremely fast on one screen, but the main screen, they are doing very little. It's like my last comment. says 12:19 Central Time, and I see the time is like 12:26. So that is an issue. Wow, that's never happened before. Lordy Lord. So thank you, Don Robinson. Sorry about the glitch in the system. It looks like I have a strong signal, but for whatever reason, it just got a little glitchy. Now, this is a very serious thing, though. You guys do know that they said that we may suffer from some type of cyber thing because of Ukraine. And anyway, I have to dig out all of my when the system just glitched just now, that means that I have to bring up all of my slides again. My slides were not lost, but the problem is my slides blanked out on me. So okay, the slides are back. I'm back. Sorry. Boy, that was so weird. I wonder if this is the palace. Yes, thank you, JJ. I'm okay. The system just got glitchy for some reason. Um, it was like all of a sudden I was 10 minutes behind with all the comments. And so the comments were moving fine on the YouTube, but on the StreamYard, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can see me. Sound is back. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so as I said, you guys, I don't want to alarm anyone, but they said that there is a chance that we may have some cyber issues because of Ukraine. Okay? We may have some cyber issues because of Ukraine. Again, I don't want to alarm anyone, but that is just a fact that it is the possibility that we may have some cyber issues because of Ukraine, which means that this type of format may suffer because of that. Cannot and Doolittle are what is that? Milk toast. It's disgusting and unprincipled jealousy is eating them up alive. Harry and Meghan are unbothered, and thank goodness they are thriving. Okay. Wow, that was so weird that the computer did that. I'm literally okay, so that's enough about that. So we talked about that. We were here, and then we were there, and then we were at Medea's safe house. So the meme on the left, that is one of my creations, and the one on the right side, someone else made that. I love the way that it's rated R for Regal. Um, let's see. It is a darn shame that the richest family in the UK great grandson was homeless and a black man in America at the risk of him and his family. Uh, but you paid $12 million to that offender. Yeah, isn't it something? Whoever thought that the ancestors of Americans who had lived in slavery, the ancestors of an American whose ancestors were, of course, slaves, would somehow save a prince of the realm and his wife? Who could have seen that coming? Because, of course, as you know, Tyler Perry is a billionaire. Cannot and Doolittle. Okay, I did read that. All right. So this is working fine now. I can scroll. Did you guys hear that Jamaica is paying for the Chambers? I mean, it's not paying for the Chambers ship. Yes, they were very vocal about that. The Jamaican government, they have been very, very vocal. Okay, so post Oprah Winfrey interview, one of the big things that I really loved is the fact that Jill Biden, I believe it was Women's History Day. Was that Women's History Day? International. Oh, let me see that. That is very, very small. But International Women of Courage was the event that they held virtually. And I do believe that the Duchess of Sussex was in that live stream. If not, I know that the to show solidarity to the Sussexes, the First Lady wore the famous Oscar de la Renta lemon dress, a pattern which originated from a portrait during the Italian Renaissance, a Venetian portrait. And so that's where that pattern actually was inspired from a portrait that was painted by one of the old masters. And Oscar de la Renta would reference those paintings. And so that's how the famous lemon dress, the lemon tree pattern, was created. Another first lady who was very quick to acknowledge the Sussexes was, of course, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton said she was not surprised. Now, of course, the Clintons have spent their share of time with the royal family, but Hillary Clinton, that is, um, I don't think the Hillary Clinton is a big fan of the Queen. I'm just saying, I don't think she's a big fan of the Queen. And so Hillary was one of the first to show solidarity to the Duchess of Sussex in the wake of the Oprah Winfrey interview. So the current First Lady and a former First Lady, and of course, uh, Michelle Obama. I think Michelle Obama was being a little bit too fair at the time. She was like, I hope they work it out. And after seeing the Oprah Winfrey interview, no disrespect to Michelle Obama, I just wasn't in that I hope they work it out mood. You know what I mean? I was not in the mood for, we all need to come together. And I was just like, Michelle, what are you doing? Do you guys remember that? I was like, Michelle, what are you doing? I am so proud of my birth country not paying for William and Kate. I said that family living there and they are struggling. The money going to, um, okay, to take to pay for security needs to feed the poor people. I agree with that. That money is for the needy, not the greedy. Isn't that how they say it? The money is for the needy, not the greedy. But yeah, so cheers to the current first lady and the former first lady for really standing up for the Sussexes. Okay. The royals are using Harry as an example to other young royals. Don't even think about leaving or marrying another race, even though the Middletons are Jewish. Yeah, I do believe that, what is it, Gary Goldsmith? I believe that, what's her name? The air hostess. I believe that there is some Jewish ancestry down the line for the Middletons. I have heard that before. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, in a way, that's kind of a big change of tradition for the royal family right there. And that's I love when there's tolerance in society. I think that we all should have a great deal of tolerance, and if that is the case, if that is part of their ancestry, I think it's really cool. I mean, the president of Ukraine, he was born in Russia and his family is Jewish. So I think that's a good thing. They don't ever mention it or they don't acknowledge it in any way. But at some point, I think there was through marriage or conversion, they joined the Church of England, I suppose. Okay. So gone is the air hostess. And on to the next slide. Let me see another comment before I go. Let me see. I didn't turn against her, but she could have said more to support Meghan. Um, huh. Oh, I see where that comes from. Yeah, Kenneth Doug, I just think it was a little bit too even-handed. I was just like, Michelle, I don't know if I mean, things were still kind of fresh. And so maybe Michelle was just not prepared to answer the question or something like that. Yeah, she played it safe. She played it safe. And I didn't like it either. That bothered me. I was just like so disappointed. But you know what, guys? The Obamas had a very good relationship with the Queen and Philip, right? So um, I believe that the Queen was a bit starstruck and she bent over backwards to accommodate the Obamas. And there's a little story about that visit with the Obamas at the Windsor Castle, or was it Buckingham Palace that I think it was Windsor Castle. There was a mouse. There was a mouse. One of the royal reporters managed to shrink him or herself down and run through the halls of Windsor Castle. And so someone told the president, Obama, that there was a sighting of a rodent. And of course, the first thing I was thinking was, Angela? Angela? But no, it was a real rodent, not a overblown, bloated, um, animated troll doll. It wasn't that kind. It wasn't this rodent. It was a different rodent. And so the president said, "Well, whatever you do, just don't mention it to the first lady." Um, so yeah, so that was one of those things that happened during that visit, was that there was a rodent about. Just a little side note. But yeah, you guys, I was very disappointed with Michelle's response. I thought it was just too safe. I mean, Hillary Clinton just came out and said, "No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all." And I was just like, "Okay, that's how you do it." And for obvious reasons, um, the current first lady, she just used more symbolism. But Hillary was an OG. She was just like, "Yeah, I can see that. I'm not surprised." And whilst I wouldn't want Michelle Obama to be that outspoken about it, I just wish she would have leaned further toward the Duchess of Sussex and a little less toward the institution that that institution. I just wish she would have leaned a little bit away from that and pivoted more toward the Duchess of Sussex. So that's all I'll say about that, because I like Michelle Obama and I think she is a fantastic role model. But come on! Okay, the Line tabloids added again, claiming that QE2 misses seeing Lily. If she misses them so much, all she has to do is to make a call to the home office, and only things she misses are her corgis and horses. Well, Terry, let's be very pragmatic about this. If we remember, it was said during the James Corden interview that there was conversations with the Sussexes, and of course, uh, Philip and the Queen. Philip and the Queen. Philip, is that Philip? I know that. I mean, I believe it. Or should I say, I believe that there has been conversation, and there probably continues to be, because the tabloids say it does not make it true. So the tabloids, of course, they have to keep this narration going to make money. So they are bound to say things like the Queen really wants to see Lilibeth. I don't think the Queen sees most of her family most of the time. She spends the majority of her time that we know of alone at Windsor. And when she was, first like confined to Windsor, anytime that a family member went over to Windsor, there was a big deal made out of it. There would be someone who reported that so and so, the Queen went over to Frogmore or whatever. So I think the Queen spends a lot of time chatting with the family on the Zoom calls. I don't think there's a lot of in-person visits. And I do believe that the Queen is in constant contact with the Sussexes. I have no doubt about that. But we don't know what the Queen's mental state is. You know, she is very frail. And even though a person can have like some kind of cognitive decline, like, sitting around and thinking they see Philip, Philip, even though that's occurring, it doesn't mean that they can't give up. I mean, not give up, but get in front of a podium and give a speech, or appear to seem rather normal in mixed company, but still they are not themselves. They may be totally up to subjection, or should I say, subject to suggestion. Like, for instance, maybe you have a daughter-in-law that you don't approve of, but then one day when you thought you saw Philip, Philip, you sign a document saying in a statement, please make sure you give Camilla all of the respect accorded to a queen consort. She's going to be the queen consort. Someday she'll be the consort, and make sure you show her some respect. Now, the queen may have taken this big leap in her own right, or maybe it was the power of suggestion. Like, I don't know, somebody who may have possibly have been infected with a pandemic, and they come over and cough and hack in your face and all that kind of stuff, sneeze, who knows what happened. Maybe they can't wait to take your job, and instead of calling up on the phone and yelling boo or blowing an air horn into the phone, maybe they figure it was better to come over there snotting and blowing and sneezing, anything to get you out the way. But Gangsta Gan is not easily taken out. As you know, she is known to patrol the grounds of Windsor with her Glock in hand. I'm sure her very next Zoom call to Charles was, "You missed. Now it's my turn." So who knows? But don't mess with Gangsta Gang because you might be out of your league, Charlie. She survived the war. All right. So I don't even know how I got here. How did we get here? Did somebody roofie me? One of the best results of the Oprah Winfrey interview was this: fired. Somebody fired himself. Somebody stormed out of the studio thanks to Alex Beresford, and of course, our champion of champions, Dr. Shola. This is what caused this man to lose his mind and then lose his job. And so great was his ability to lose his cool that day that he even got his best friend fired. It's amazing. I still cannot get over this moment. This is like one of the best moments I've ever had in life. I mean, I sit around sometimes and I just think about this and I smile. You have no idea what this has done for me. It has given me new hope. Piers Morgan quits Good Morning Britain. And cheers! The Duchess of Sussex, in the end, was very much victorious. And even though Pig Morgan has spoken again and again about his big comeback, and if you remember, my favorite line was, it's not a matter of Sharon looking for a job, it's a job looking for Sharon. And the last time I saw Sharon, she was escorting some hobo around the supermarket in California somewhere. So good luck, Sharon. Good luck to Pighead Morgan. And hasta la vista, baby. And the dress has become an iconic symbol The dress is in a museum in Birmingham, England. That dress has become the number one dress of 2021. The Armani dress with the orchid, which is symbolic of strength. The orchid has the ability to thrive in places where some organic matter could never exist. So the orchid is a fitting symbol for the Oprah Winfrey interview. As you know, our Duchess used a great deal of symbolism to express her feelings through jewelry and clothing, etc. That's right. That's right. Susie Q, are you on today? We're wishing you the best and we're praying for you if you are, if you can hear me. Ah, there you are. There you are. All right. It looks like you got a new uh profile photo. I love it. And thank you for joining us. I mean, there's a lot of things you could be doing right now, and you're like with us right now. So that is super, super cool. Pamela Porter says Michelle is my homegirl. Can't agree with her in regards to Meghan. The Obamas are friendly with Harry. Disappointing. Sometimes it's best to say nothing. Yes, Pamela Porter. You know, I thought I was the only one that felt that way, but I'm so glad you guys let me know that I'm not because I was like, Michelle, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne are moving back to the UK. Sharon can't get any work in the US. Karma. Yeah, Sharon Osbourne is all washed up here. You know, as I said, television, I'm trying not to use the D word, but television is dying. The fact that there are so many people who find their news, information, entertainment, from social media lets you know that television is just not what it used to be. So the idea that they are going to find some obscure person and give them a talk show or let them panel on a talk show. Sherry Shepherd, um, if and when Sherry Shepherd's show actually takes off, Sherry Shepherd will have, I suppose, beat insurmountable odds to be a woman on television with a talk show nowadays because talk shows are kind of a dying breed. Soap operas gave way to talk shows, and the game show gave way to talk shows. And then, of course, the talk shows have given way to reality TV. So, some reality TV is like a fusion of the game show and reality TV. So, okay. I accidentally saw something about Andrew on YouTube titled Andrew Has Always Been Terrible by the Night Docs for 2 weeks ago. Guys, it's horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, Connie, I'll take your word for it. I'll make sure I don't watch it. Yeah, sometimes we can click on a thumbnail and it takes us to some pretty dark places. So don't feel bad. That's happened to everyone. Okay, I saw that one. Uh, um, to the curb. I think she was being diplomatic. The Queen and Philip were especially gracious. Yes, Pamela Porter, I agree. That's why I said earlier that the Obamas have had a very good relationship with the Queen. And I do believe the Queen, just like any of us, can become very starstruck and bend over backwards to, kiss up to someone. And for whatever reason, the Queen was completely fascinated with the Obamas. And I think most people were at the time really drawn to the Obamas. And as you know, uh, I was going to call him Prince Obama. President Obama addressed Parliament, both houses of Parliament, in that historic hall at Westminster. And that's something that I don't think any other president has done before. That was a very rare occasion. It's just like when, say, the Pope addresses the Congress. It's very rare that we let outsiders address our houses of Congress but on occasion it does happen. And so when that happens, it's a very special thing. So I don't, I'm not like, you know, I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. At the time, and I'm going to say some more about that. I'm going to say some more about that. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to just lean into that situation. A couple weeks ago, I had a video with Dame Helen Mirren. And a few of y'all said that Helen Mirren tries to play it both ways with actors, musicians, and just about everyone else. One of the things that you have to be very wary of is the tabloids, because the tabloids will do everything that they can to destroy you if you are not dancing to their music. And so when the tabloids went after Oprah Winfrey, it was in a way that I had rarely seen with any American celebrity. They tried to destroy Oprah. They had accused Oprah of some of the worst possible things, and Oprah somehow weathered the storm. Oprah had an interview with Sarah Ferguson, where she actually said that the tabloids over here are bad, but she said in the UK they're vicious. And she just said it really, really strongly. She said vicious, absolutely vicious. And then she told Sarah Ferguson, she said, and they tried to kill Diana. This must have been a year before Diana died. Did you guys see that interview? Because I made a video about that. She said they tried to kill Diana. And when I saw that interview again, all these years later, something went through me like you would not believe, right? So, getting back to Helen Mirren lives on both sides of the Atlantic. She makes her money on both sides of the Atlantic. She's played the Queen on stage and on the silver screen. Helen Mirren has a family. Helen Mirren wants to eat. Helen Mirren has a mortgage. She has all the stuff that you and I have. So if you are on the wrong side of the tabloids, they will try to destroy you. I don't think that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex wants anybody to sacrifice their health, their well being, and of course, their homes, their career, just to take up the fight for them, especially now that they are free from Narnia. They can speak for themselves. And so when someone plays it safe, there are good reasons why people need to do that, because they will destroy you if they get the opportunity. I mean, they have literally, the tabloids have killed before. Look at Carolyn Flack. I don't want Helen Mirren to be the next Carolyn Flack. I don't want anybody to be Carolyn Flack. But they wield a great deal of power. And look at how they just totally trash Barack Obama for his birthday. So I'm a little less critical when people are withholding or holding back or seemingly straddling the fence, because they got families too. And if you look at the Cosby kids, when Bill Cosby got in trouble, whether he was innocent or guilty, the people that depended upon those residual checks from the production of the Bill Cosby show lost a lot of money. They lost money. That was money that they were supposed to pass on to their family. I mean, in perpetuity, their family may receive some type of compensation for the time that they spent on the Cosby show. Well, now that the Cosby show has been trashed, they're not getting that money like they used to. Okay, the show might do well, like, I don't know, in Colombia or something like that, but it's not playing so well in middle America. So try to understand when someone like a Helen Mirren pulls back a bit, because the last big celebrity from the UK that showed support to the Sussexes that I recall was Adele. And look at how she has paid the price. Look at how they have trashed Adele week after week after week since she said she preferred Harry over William. So, um, I'm just saying, you guys, try to consider that people put themselves at jeopardy, not just standing up for what's right, not just standing up for the Sussexes, for just about anybody. You can find yourself being trashed in the worst possible way. Thank you, Nubian Queen. Thank you for being patient through my little rant about support. And thank you for the super sticker. Happy Monday to you. Remember that interview, Baron? Sarah Steele said about the light bulbs and that the lights came out through the window. Yeah, she said that they used low wattage light bulbs so that there would be uniformity in the appearance of the palace, and that the window shades had to be at a certain level. And there was a lot of these archaic, draconian rules that they had around Buckingham Palace that she just really wasn't prepared for. Let me see. It's a fraternal order dominated by males. The Queen has honorary access only because of her title. Okay. So, you guys, please tell me, what do you think about what I just said about celebrities and taking a stand? Let me see. Obama's belong to the same sorority. Okay. And since Prince Harry won the NAACP award, there is not there's now a concerted effort by the unroyal family and the thugs to paint Harry with that pass. I don't think they want to go down that path. It is like a nuclear option, though, cookies and cream. And of course, I thought about that at the time. If you were on the Instagram, there's someone on Instagram who has been going after Harry for quite some time. Were attacked verbally and on the media platform supported by the royal family. Diplomacy is one thing, complete silence against that is not okay, regardless of who you are. Tash Mack, amen. Amen. Sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind and you have to get muddied up to take a stand. Okay, let me go the other way with these scrolls. Okay. Yeah, I don't like those secret societies. I'm scared of all that stuff. Do not care about what the British tabloids say. Yeah, I think the only people that really are concerned with the British tabloids are the British celebrities. You know, they have homes and property and they have family over there, and it can be a scary situation. The tabloids can expose your location, as evident by the Sussexes. They could expose your family members. They can dig up your past. They can do a lot of things that can inflict pain and make it difficult for you to earn money. I feel we are seeing the end of the tabs as we know them. There are too many people really through with the hate and lack of freedom. I see a class action suit. Josephine Young, I would love a class action suit against the tabloids. I think that they need to drag them through court for years to come. If all of the celebrities and politicians came together and waged a massive lawsuit, I think it could put a dent in that type of reporting. But they seem to operate without fear. Okay, I'm not angry with Michelle Obama. She spoke on forgiveness, as she mentioned. When they go low, we go high. Yeah. Yeah, Lucy, when that statement by Michelle Obama, there have been a lot of people who have, um, I guess, rebuked that type of thing. And while I think everybody feels a certain love for Michelle Obama, um, that go high thing against the Orange Menace seems to have completely backfired because trying to take the high road with a bully can sometimes it just makes things worse. I think when you find a bully, you really need to bust their nose, and when that blood is running down their lips and mouth and chin, then they know you mean business. That's how you have to handle a bully. It's something about a bully, like the class bully. When they get their nose busted, everything changes all at once. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just speaking truth to power. When you find a bully, bust their nose, and all of a sudden everything changes. The power dynamic shifts. I'm just saying. There's a reason Meghan did everything she could to protect her friends who participated on that People article defending her. Yeah, it exposes you. You have to really protect yourself after that. Man, you have to remember if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. You can't sit by the sidelines because you become complicit and allow bad behavior to go on. Yeah, that is true. That is true. You have to know what you're getting into when you're taking the stand, though. I doubt that Adele or the Obamas worry about the British media and are shaking um, in their boots about the British media. Yeah, Joyce, but the British media, they're still a factor. I mean, we can try to dismiss them if you know we're able to, but they are still a factor. They are a fact of life, and unfortunately, is like the pandemic is something that we're forced to live with. I don't know how it goes away or if it will ever go away, and I hope it does. But they have destroyed people. They have destroyed lives and livelihoods. I've seen the hostile display nonstop against many celebrities. Yeah, yeah. Um, You know, it's one of those things that comes with the territory. I mean, this is a very heavy topic, but happy Monday, Baron and the squad. Thank you, Gil S. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's a very heavy topic, and I think everybody has to choose their own path. I don't think there's a one size fits all. And like for instance, Joe Manchin, the senator who pretends to be a Democrat. Joe Manchin's career in the Senate is a family business. Most senators, their position in the Senate is a family business. Because you are a United States senator, your children can somehow go to the best schools. Your wife or husband can be on the board of directors at Pepsi or Coke. You can buy a property at a major discount, and all because you are voting against something that can help poor people. Do I condone it? Absolutely not. But am I aware of it? Yes, I am. So that is what I mean by family business. When Paul McCartney married that woman, that I hate to say it, but the one that had the one leg, I don't know her name. He didn't get a prenup, and his children were furious. And then some people say, well, why is that their business? Your family sacrifice and even work off the clock to help make you successful. And if you get a marriage like that without a prenup, that wife or that husband, in some cases, upon divorce, may be entitled to half of everything. Half of everything is a whole lot of whatever you were planning to leave your kids. And so that's what I mean when I say family business. I didn't even know that concept until that thing with Paul McCartney. Now that I get it, now I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand why the children were upset. So in that family business, if you say or do something and the tabloids go after you, and all of a sudden you can't make money, you have less, if not nothing, should I say, to leave your children. That's why I say don't fault the people who are afraid or unable to take a stand if their career or their finances are in the balance. Now, does that mean I would just sit there and watch someone get maimed or killed so that I can keep my condominium or house? No, of course not. But I'm saying there's some gray areas that a lot of us don't really consider when we get angry because somebody's not speaking up enough or not doing enough. And to be fair, you have to wonder, would the Sussexes want them to do that? Is that required for friendship? So who knows? I don't believe in going high when they are going low. Sometimes you have to go even lower. A lesson Democratic leadership, especially Biden, whom I voted for and support, needs to follow. Pamela Porter, you better preach it. You better preach it. Can we all just agree that there are gray areas to the go high, go low? Can we all agree that everybody needs to assess their own situation before you speak up and speak out about someone who may have more money than you, who may be more successful than you? I mean, it's a lot you have to consider. You can't ignore the bullies. You have to stand up to them. You have to teach them a lesson. I'm here to tell you, I've had to do it in my life. And as I washed the blood off my knuckles, I felt something had changed. All of a sudden, I seemed a little taller. I had a little more bass in my voice. And suddenly, I wasn't so afraid anymore. That's all I'm saying. This for the artists and athletes who speak out. They are putting their jobs on the line. Colin Kaepernick, which, by the way, Pamela Porter, Colin and I share the same birthday. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick and I share the same birthday, as does Charles Bronson and oh, what's her name? Anna Wintour. There's quite a few crazy Scorpios born on that same day. So even though I say I understand when some people don't want to speak out, trust me when I say this. Under the right circumstances, I am absolutely fearless. Um, you don't have to speak up if you're afraid. You just don't add to the discord. Bright eyes, PB&J. You better preach it. I love that. With not well thought out statements like Michelle did. Yeah, you better say it. You better say it. You don't want to add to the discord. Comments on successful people courageous enough to speak out, especially in the face of personal peril. That's courage. Yeah. Well, someone I mentioned yesterday, Eleanor Roosevelt, who I absolutely adore. Eleanor Roosevelt put herself at great risk because she was very much into women's liberation, and also she was unapologetically um, an advocate for the plight of African Americans at a time when it was very unpopular. So, okay. All right. So, Michael Jackson brought his song catalog because Yoko wouldn't pay 10 million to buy it half, so they let MJ. Okay. All right, so let me move on to another slide. You guys, this has gone very deep, but I want to change gears a little bit. If you guys don't mind, let me read this one last one. I understand about standing up to bullies, but the Obamas dealt with 8 years of harassment and threats. Maybe she didn't want any more personal attacks. Lucy Wynn, you're absolutely right. The Obamas have a brand, just like everyone has a brand. And part of that brand is not being attacked on a daily basis. Um, Michelle Obama, they said if Michelle Obama decides to run for president, she would probably destroy the Republican candidate. But on the way to the White House, there will be many attempts to try to destroy her. Right now, she is extremely popular. But when people that are extremely popular are usually people who are, shall we say, taking a step back from the limelight, someone who calibrates their words, speaks very cautiously and such. So maybe there's something else going on there that we're not aware of. So anyway, um, we love Michelle Obama, and she played it safe, which I think is better than nothing. Because we love the Sussexes, we would have preferred that she come out like a gangster like Hillary did, but she has a reason. So um, a voodoo doll. Such dolls are done in Haiti. Personally, I'm scared of such stuff. Funny still. I'm afraid of voodoo dolls too. There's like this one voodoo doll that I saw on television a while back, and that little doll was speaking out of both sides of his mouth, and I mean, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. It had these bug little beady eyes, and it seems like they only had like four toes and four fingers on each hands. I mean, it was the most frightful thing. And then this little doll wore this absolutely garish floral print outfit, and there was probably some hidden messages in that floral print, like, and Megan's a Hollywood actress, and she's used to having her way, and Harry really can't say anything unless it's really it's what Megan wants, because and she's a Hollywood actress, and I've been knowing Harry for like 50 years, and grift, grift, grift. Okay, so here we go. Amelia Boynton, after she was beaten unconscious at Selma, today, 1965, she oh, I can't see it for the watermark. Um, something lived to 100 years, 104 years, using a wheelchair, joined 15th anniversary Selma March not long ago before her death. 50th, I'm sorry. So in 2000, I guess that would have been 2015. That would have been the 50th anniversary. So in 2015, at 104 years old, Amelia Boynton crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge. She joined that march in Selma, Alabama. The lady that you see depicted in the photo, it is a bit disturbing to look at, but she was beaten unconscious um, in Selma at the march in 1965. So she died at age 104. And she made that last trip across the bridge in a wheelchair. And that had to be 2015, if my math is correct. Um, so that is one of the people who helped achieve civil rights in this country. Well, if you fast forward to just yesterday, um, the current Vice President, Kamala Harris, made that same journey across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And there she is, flanked by Secret Service, civil rights leaders, and such. And you can see thousands of people behind her. When I see photos like this, I always look to see if there's masks. That helps me decide whether this is a current photo or if this is an older photo. But of course, we know this was just yesterday, I believe. So um, there you have it. That is what our vice president has been up to. The Edmund Pettus Bridge is still standing. The Edmund Pettus Bridge is, at some point, they should rename it, but I believe it's named for a Confederate. That is someone who fought against the North um, during the Civil War. So that is one of those old Confederate names. It's not even a very attractive bridge, but for some reason, because of civil rights, it has become a real focal point because of the march through Selma. Okay, Dr. Boynton lived in my hometown of Tuskegee, Alabama. Thank you for sharing that, Felicia Hill. And let's see, Anna Espinoza, 104. That's a long life. My grandmother died at 106. I hope I'm still kicking. I hope you're still kicking too. Let's see. But yeah, it just it's a testament to how strong she must have been to have suffered such a terrible attack like that and to have survived to 104. So the footage from that event was absolutely horrific. The dogs. I'm trying to think, did they use water cannons that day? Terrible. But anyway, she had a long life and she was able to cross that bridge again to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Edmund Pettus Bridge crossing. So, and of course, the March on Selma. My grandmother, a midwife, lived to be 107. I wish had talked to her more about her early life. Yeah, Diane Hawkins, wouldn't that be amazing? If we had known better at the time, we would have been privileged to have those conversations, and even better if we were able to record those conversations to share, down the line. That would be even better. One of the reasons why I watch so many period piece movies and documentaries and such is because I just really love to see what was important on any given day, whether it was 50 years ago or 150 years ago. So, 1965, that is 100 years since the Civil War ended. The Civil War and the start of Jim Crow. Let me see. Hi, Baron. Jim from London again. Not MI6. I think I remember that comment. Just signed in now. We are hearing about Samantha's lawsuit. Yeah, Samantha's ploy to gain attention again. Yeah, and I know people have speculated, why did she wait until this just the other day to file a lawsuit? I think it has something to do with the statute of limitations. I think some things you have exactly a year um, to file suit, and oh boy, I just got water on my keyboard again. Yeah, you have like a year to file suit, and so she was probably at that point where she had to um, either do something or nothing. So she decided to do something. And I believe they said the amount was $75,000. That's not a lot of money. So I think it's just a ploy for attention. But I know you guys are going to think I'm wrong, but if $75 can have a non disclosure agreement signed, I'd have to think about it. 75,000 and a non disclosure. I'd have to think about that. And no, she doesn't deserve anything. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, referring to a woman of color, a black woman, a woman of African descent, as a bully seems to be one of the tactics of the tabloid media and or the Daily Fail. Oh, okay. I'm glad to hear that. One thing about Scorpios, you should never put them in the same room together. They are bound to try to kill each other. Scorpios need like a Virgo to balance us. Michelle Obama responded by saying she was not surprised. Then she went on to say they are a family and they will work it out. Yeah, yeah. I guess I wasn't in a charitable mood at the time, Sarah. At the time, I was, like I said, I never thought that I would feel such apathy for the Queen. I never thought I would feel such contempt for the institution. I never in a million years thought that that sweet old lady would somehow lose yeah, I won't even say what she's lost from me, but um I just never thought that would happen. I never thought that I would look to the Queen and just feel a bit of disappointment, feel let down, and even feel a certain air of contempt. Never thought that would happen. Congratulations, your monarch. Your Majesty. Okay, so Kamala is a bully. I mean, just look at the big print there. What are they trying to achieve? Kamala is a bully. That's the right wing tabloid media. Kamala is a bully. That's all I'll say. Um, I just wanted to share that as they have done with the Duchess of Sussex, here we go again. And then this person. Uh, Hold on, you guys. Let me take a sip of water. I tell you what, if it's good for the keyboard, it's good for me. Victoria Mather. NBC guest calls Meghan 5 clicks up from trailer trash sparks fury. MSNBC has no plans to book commentator Victoria Mather again after her remarks about the Duchess of Sussex, a network source told Huffington Post. She went there. She went there. That happened a year ago also. I want to say it happened like maybe the day before or the day after the interview. She went there. I believe because the Obamas were threatened by Trump and his cronies, Michelle might refrain from sharing how she really feels. Oh, Michelle Obama said very clearly that um, President Trump made life for her family very, very unsafe. I believe that to be true. Um, as I'm talking about this Mather person, let me just, excuse me, do a little sidetrack here. The fact that a high school basketball game was disrupted because the white students yelled to the mostly Latino school, build that wall during the game, sending those children, I believe it was a grade school or high school, the children from the Spanish speaking, mostly Spanish speaking school went home in tears. I blame Trump for that. That was Trump. You can draw a line right to President Trump. Build that wall was used in the most horrible manner against school kids from one school to the other. Okay? That was a very powerful individual in the worst possible way. His mouth was enough to hurt a lot of people, like the campaign against wearing a mask during a global pandemic. The same way that the governor of Florida uh, yelled at those kids to take their mask off because he was trying to be political. That was the same thing that we saw coming from the White House every day for what, like a year? For like 9 months, whatever it was, every day. They said that people in the White House were told, take your mask off. What do you it became like some type of a hostile environment if people wanted to put their safety first. So anyway, I don't want to go too far into that, but thank you for that comment, Butterfly. Baron, they think all black women in positions of authority are bullies, lest a request is made of anyone in office. No matter tone of the ask, black women are not supposed to be positioned to ask. Yep. Yeah, it is like the big weapon that they use against black women is that you're not supposed to assert yourself in any way. Otherwise, it becomes almost like a SWAT team situation. When you have Murdoch News Machine decades poisoning the public in collaboration with the right wing bullies. Meghan needs to legally drag Scammy for the filth that she is, teach her a valuable lesson that she'll never forget. Scammy brain's eyes and face are money. She's not deserved to call half sister of Meghan. Shame on Scammy. Okay, so Victoria Mather, right? Victoria Mather, she went there on American television. This is just one of maybe a dozen or more people from the UK who, because of their English accent and because of their proclaimed expertise as royal reporters or authors, whatever, it seems that they'll put anyone with an English accent on American TV as an expert. And of course, there seems to be certain talking points. This woman was ferocious in her attack. Now, I just watched the interview again, right? It was abruptly cut, but remember this night. Remember this night when Meghan, um, of course, said the way she felt. Even though, even though we learned about that after the fact, um, it still came up, right? Um, and so all that time after that, we're learning. Like, I want to say this interview with Mather happened the day before, something like that. And to have known that something like that had happened, or to learn that something like that happened, and that someone like this brings this kind of filth to American television. This is supposed to be the safe space for the Sussexes. But again and again, we had to helplessly watch for almost a year plus of these type of people appearing on American television who seem rather nice and polite in the beginning, and then all of a sudden the true agenda comes out. They'll bring up the thing about they wanted privacy. Um, Mather even said, this is the part that gets me. She said that when Meghan appeared at the Albert Hall, that nobody knew that these Sussexes were going to whatever event that was when the Sussexes did their last round of the UK, right? And she said that, of course, the Sussexes stole attention from Camilla, who was at some other event that very same night. That Camilla was had some type of royal outing, and that because the Sussexes appeared, I believe that was when Meghan wore the red or the aqua dress, but they said that Meghan stole attention from the Duchess of Cambridge. I'm sorry, the Duchess of Cornwall. I wonder what the Duchess of Cornwall has stolen in her lifetime. That's what really got me. You accused the Sussexes of stealing attention from Camilla, but has Camilla stolen anything of note that we should consider before we feel sorry for her? Has Camilla stolen something? Has anything been robbed of anybody of note that we should discuss before we feel sorry for um, Camilla? Can you all think of anything? Because I can't. I mean, there's just nothing really comes to mind. Did Camilla steal something where I really shouldn't feel sorry for her? I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you on that one. So, this Mather person seemed more upset about the Sussexes stealing attention from Camilla than Camilla stealing something even worse from the world. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got you. I got you, Victoria Mather. So, one of the things Victoria Mather said is that Meghan gifted um, gifted the Duchess of Cambridge a knife for Christmas. And when they cut the interview, it wasn't because she said the things about the 5 clicks up from trailer trash. That was when that look came upon her face. But what she said to end the interview is she said that NBC News cannot confirm that Meghan gave a knife to the Duchess of Cambridge, to Kate. Yeah. So in the interview, she actually said that Kate received a knife from Meghan as though it was some implied threat. It was very wild. If you guys want to see it, you can find it on the YouTube. It will jar you. It will upset you. It will make you very angry. So I recommend that you avoid it if you are easily triggered by such. But she went there. She went there. She hasn't been back on American television as far as I know. Yeah, and I was going to try to end this with a little eye candy versus that slob. But let me go to your comments first. Victoria Mather blindsided the American journalist with her comment about Meghan. The journalist immediately cut that cow off. Yes, she did. If you don't stop her, she'll do it again sooner or later. She needs to be taught that there are consequences for her action. Okay, absolutely. She was really stunned. Let me see. Chow, you say Emily Griffin also tried it on Archie's birthday when she was reading a book for him sitting in her lap. She later made the pathetic apology after the fact, being dragged several times. Victoria, okay, I read that. Let me see. Pamela Porter, you say from Selma, the bridge is on the main road in the town named, as you may guess, for President of the Confederacy, Jefferson Davis. Yes, Jefferson Davis. That was the President of the Confederacy. He didn't like a Yankee for nothing. Okay. In an NDA for a relatively low price, it might be worth it just to shut her up. That's what I said, Pamela Porter. I know a lot of y'all going to say don't give her anything, but if that'll shut her up, if that will shut her up, I'm like, is that it? I'll throw in the first $20. I will throw in the first $20. Because leaving her on the toilet that time until she had to call the police, that didn't seem to send a message. The Sussexes have plenty who love them, not just like, yes, and never feel sorry for Camilla, that bulldog. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.